Fox 33 is your local election headquarters. The Louisiana legislature will convene on Monday when Governor John Bel Edwards gives his final State of the State address. Capitol reporter Shannon Hecht has what we can expect.
In his final address, Governor John Bel Edwards will get to look back on inheriting a $2 billion deficit. And now he is asking the legislature to invest the state's surplus money in the $45 million budget. With it being a fiscal year and an election year, there is a push to cut taxes, or at least change them. Some want to do away with the income tax or the franchise tax. Others want to reduce the number of tax credits the state gives to big corporations. The insurance crisis is taking center stage, with legislators trying out their ideas of how to protect consumers, while also drawing in companies to take people off of citizens' roll. More controversial bills are slated for debate, with bills looking to add exceptions to the abortion ban for rape and incest. LGBTQ rights are also being debated this year, with multiple bills that would restrict teachers from using a student's preferred pronouns, talk about sexual orientation or gender identity. Public libraries are also the focus of legislation that would prevent children from checking out books deemed sexually explicit. But advocates say many of the books on the list to withhold from children deal with LGBTQ themes. As crime is splashed across the headlines, a slew of bills want to increase punishment for some offenders and specific crimes. The session runs from April 10th and must end on June 8th. For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
And one of those bills that focuses on crime would change bail money. State Representative John Stefanski has proposed new legislation that would set a mandatory minimum bail for people who commit violent crimes in order to keep them off the streets. Stefanski is proposing a required minimum bail amount of $100,000 for violent offenses. He says this would minimize crime in the state.
This is my attempt to address one thing, which is when someone is charged with a violent crime, making sure that they're not back on the streets without an appropriate bond.
The bill would set the minimum bond at $500,000 for those charged with a violent crime with a gun. It would also require a judge to present written documentation for setting bail less than the amount in the proposed law. Another one of the bills on the table aims to ban anyone under 21 years old from entering Louisiana bars. Britt LaFaso shares how the bill is getting mixed opinions.
I went to college in New York State, and the thing I looked forward to about coming back to Louisiana was the fact that you could go to bars. So as someone who lived in a state where it was 21 plus, it was detrimental to a lot of the businesses there because the youth wanted to support a lot of places and couldn't do that.
Going to bars when I was 18, it was the time of my life. Even if I wasn't drinking, I think it's such a positive social influence whenever you go to a bar.
I feel like having the bars open for 18-year-olds, I feel like it's a good introduction and stuff, because imagine you just still have 18-year-olds sneaking into bars anyways,
Many residents tell News 10 they believe the legislature should not make the decision for the entire state.
I generally think people should be left alone to do whatever they want to do. I think probably parents should be in charge of dictating what kids do more than the government.
If they want to stop underage drinking, that'll probably slow it down some. But if you can get in for the draft at 18, I think you should be able to drink at 18. Most other countries are 18 as well, so I don't see why it should be 21 anyways.
While the goal of the proposed bill is to make it more difficult for young adults to get alcohol, residents here say state legislators should look at other solutions.
I think that asking the question, what do I think about this bill, begs the question of what is there for young people and adults to do that is non-alcohol related. I wish we had more things that were things like game rooms, places where inexpensively you can go do a craft or a skill.